In the world of business, it's usually pay to play, meaning you have to spend some money in order to make money. I'm sure you've heard a phrase like that. But the fastest growing businesses are the ones that can figure out systems that can take $1 in spend and turn it into $10 or more. But what if you don't even have to spend $1? Well, that's where this video comes in, because by the end of this little training, I'm going to have shown you 3 completely free strategies that you can use to get your very first customer. So if you're just starting out and you're looking for guerrilla marketing ways, right, which means like in the trenches, on the streets, how do you just apply some good old fashioned clever hard work and get your business off the ground? That's what I'm going to be showing you. So let's get into it. Method number 1 is cold email. Now, cold email, sometimes referred to as spam. Many large Fortune 500, Fortune 100, huge businesses actually use cold email. As you can see here, with this strategy, he was able to get a $500,000 investment from Mark Cuban for his company. And he was able to get $400,000 in sales in just 30 days from doing the same thing. Out of the blue, from someone who I didn't know, never heard of them before, they cold emailed me. Somehow they got my email address and they knew I was a good target, a good market for what they were selling. They emailed me out of the blue and they engaged me in a conversation. Through that conversation, they realized that I was a good prospect, and I spent $15,000 with that company in one phone call, all coming from a cold email outreach. From the time I got the cold email to the time I invested was about week and a half. And I'm not advocating randomly spamming all kinds of people in massive volume. That is not what we're talking about. Instead, you're going to compile a very targeted list of people who could be interested in what you have. Whether you're trying to get initial investments into a startup and in your brand new business, or you're trying to get off the ground and get started with your first few sales, we're going to find a targeted list of exactly who wants to do business with you. And then you basically send them an email. You make it very informal. It doesn't have to fit any specific strategy. It should be informal. It should be targeted. And you should spend a little bit of time making sure that you know who you're talking to and customize that email. Might be something like, hey, I noticed that you're interested in organic pencils. I'll just make that up. I have a product that helps you create organic pencils for cheaper than ever, right? Would you be interested in learning more about that? Just an open-ended question. We're tailoring this to targeted prospects, asking them to engage with us first, asking a question so that they will reply back and open up the channel of communications. Now realize, most of your emails are not going to get replies. So if you send 100 emails, you might get 1 to 5. If you're really, really good, you might get 10 responses. And then out of those, you'll be lucky if one of them, maybe 2 of them, could turn into a sale. You have to be consistent and you have to keep going over time. Don't expect to send 10 emails and make a fortune. You're going to have to keep sending. There are some key things that you need to remember when sending cold emails. First, got to stay out of spam. Now, this is easier than you might think. If you're using a good email sending platform, there's some basic things you need to do, but you're going to want to write your emails in terms of what you say in them in a way that won't land in spam. I recommend you use a free tool that we use, frankly, here from a company called Mail Meteor. We'll actually drop a link to that. I'll put it down below the video, a link to Mail Meteor. They have a spam checking tool that will actually help you for free. It's a free tool. You don't even have to log in, and it will help you write your emails in a way that are spam friendly, I guess we'll say. You don't want to send more than 30 emails per day per mailbox. And if you have a single domain name, don't send more than 90 emails per day per domain. If you need to do volume, that means you're going to have multiple domain names and multiple mailboxes. Okay, so you can see what I'm advocating is a targeted approach. It's targeted and it's consistent. So we're not going to go out and just start cold spamming millions of people. What we're going to do is we're going to have a targeted list. We're going to send 30 emails per day maximum per mailbox. And if you're just getting started, I would start lower and slowly ramp up your sending. So I would start at say 5 a day and then increase that over a period of 2 to 3 weeks. And then don't ever exceed doing 30 per box per day. You can warm up your mailbox as you start to email places. Gmail and the other service providers have never seen you before. They're going to be suspicious. You can use tools. There's a ton of warm-up tools out there. You can look up Instantly, for example. 2, when you send these emails, you need to personalize them. So this is not, again, a set it and forget it spamming tool. You want to tailor your email to the person you're sending it to. You want to address them by name. You want to demonstrate that you have done a little bit of research and that that person is a target for what you have to offer. Personalized emails are going to have higher open rates, you're going to have higher response rates, and they help differentiate you from a spammer who's just randomly blasting junk to them. Now, 3rd, you want to find the right email addresses. You don't just want to get random lists or go buy a list or do something like that. You actually want to find email addresses of people who would be interested in what you've got. So to find these, there are all kinds of sales prospecting tools. Apollo and Instantly go towards more business to business approach, whereas Lead Carrot will get you leads that are a bit more local, small business oriented. Apollo and Instantly have free trials as well. There is Mail Meteor. This is the spam checker tool I was talking about. It's really, really useful. You want to improve this until you get a great score. You'll notice that right now, this fake email here has a poor score. So if we come in and we change some of these words, when you get a great score, then you're ready to go. And sometimes it can be hard to get a great score, but that's Mail Meteor. And of course, here's Apollo. They have a big suite of tools that help you find targeted prospects and send cold emails. And then we have Instantly here, which has a very similar set of tools that you can use that help you with cold email. Now, when you do it right, cold email is great, but it's 10 times more powerful if you combine it with the methods I'm going to show you next. Method number 2 is cold DM, direct message or private message. And with this method, you're direct messaging people on the social platform. This method is great for people that don't have any money to spend on advertising, because sending messages to people in social media literally costs nothing. You just find their account and you reach out. So this is a great way to get your first customer, especially when used in tandem with other methods. So your marketing is going to perform way better if you're reaching out to customers on multiple channels. So if you're emailing them, you're cold emailing them, and then you're also direct messaging them. And maybe you may call them. We'll talk more about multi-channel marketing in a moment. So what happens if you cold email someone and then you direct message them saying, hey, I sent you an email, did you get it? Well, your outreach suddenly, boom, goes through the roof, and it's likely to get you a sale. And just like cold email, this is a numbers game. Most direct messages are going to be ignored. Some might even get angry at you. Just move on and go to the next message. So you can do direct messaging on several different platforms. Twitter is a place that it can be really, really effective at. LinkedIn is another place it can be effective at. Instagram and a lot of other places. There are people making millions and millions of dollars only selling through direct message, cold direct messages. But again, combine that with cold email and you're going to have a winner. And then finally, let's talk about the 3rd cold method of outreach, and that is cold calling. So this last method is just to cold call your prospects and close them over the phone. You can also use sales prospecting tools like Apollo to get phone numbers of people that you want to do business with. Now, this is most effective in business to business markets. So if you're selling services, software, training, or things that businesses or small businesses buy, this is highly effective. Now, this method might scare a lot of people, so it's worth trying it here because it can be super effective. And it works even better when you actually do the trifecta. You combine all 3 methods. So you do cold email, cold direct message, cold call. This combination will really set your messages apart. But first, you send out your cold email, then you follow up with a message on LinkedIn or Twitter. Then finally, you call them on the phone to close them on your offer. Now, you don't have to be an expert salesperson. I'm not saying that you have to arm wrestle them into a close on the phone. But if you just reach out to find out if they're interested and then send them a link to your sales material. So if you have an online sales process with a sales video or a sales page, well, you just do a follow-up. So the phone call does not have to be high pressure where you're just calling someone like a telemarketer and you're somehow going to get on the first call and you're going to get them to give you $1,000. No, all you need to do is make them aware of your offer, make them aware that you direct message them, make them aware that you emailed them, follow up with a link, and then that can turn into a sale. Now, if you happen to be great at sales, set up a follow-up phone call and go for that close. But it does not have to be like crush selling telemarketing. Cold call, light touch, not a lot of pressure, and then back off. All three of these strategies are outsourceable. I know this because I'm doing it right now today. So we have an army of outsourced personnel that are doing all of these strategies for us. They're all highly effective. And I'm finding particularly with cold calling, that's the one that most people are afraid of. So most people are anxious and nervous about doing outbound cold calling. So that means there's less competition for me, which is fantastic. So I probably shouldn't even be telling you this because I'd like to keep the competition low. But it is by doing that cold call that really changes things for us. So when they get the call, even if they don't answer, even if they don't talk to my agent, they remember that we called and they'll listen to the voicemail and they'll hear us tell them, oh, we reached out to you on Instagram. Go check your messages. We sent you an email. Reply back and let me know. So it is using this combination with the final multiplier being that phone call that then makes it work so well. And you can find people, we tend to hire in the Philippines. And so you can have workers in the Philippines doing these cold outreach steps for you. And it is incredibly affordable. A lot of the people that we hire them on onlinejobs.ph. So you can find out more, just go to onlinejobs.ph. These cold strategies are ways without a significant investment that you can begin to get results for your business, particularly if you're any kind of business to business offer. This works really, really well for you. And on that note, if you got value out of this training, please give the video a like. You'll see down below, give us a nice thumbs up, and then follow the channel because we release content all the time where I help you drive traffic to your business, build your first business if you haven't built one yet, and I especially focus on how to use AI to quickly ramp up your profits. So follow the channel, give me a subscription, and hit that like button, and I shall see you next time. So for those of you who are not yet a PushButton AI customer, then you need to check this out. And all you need to do is go to pushbutton.ai/demo, pushbutton.ai/demo, and you can get a live one-on-one appointment to get on Zoom and see this powerful technology in action. And with PushButton AI, it will build an entire business from bottom to top. Everything you need, from your domain name to your logo to videos to audio lessons, an entire course that you can sell as your own, a 30-day email sequence that it writes. You can send a daily email for 30 days, all written by AI, and a whole lot more. It writes your sales page. If you're not sure how to write an expert sales page to convince people to buy stuff, it writes it for you. It writes a free report that you can give away to get subscribers to your list. It even creates and writes the opt-in subscription page to get people to subscribe to get the free report. And it goes on and on and on. It even writes your first 10 blog posts for you, and it can do so much more. Social media posts, ads, all of these things are done, and all you have to do is answer a couple of questions and push a button. Now, PushButton AI is not available to the public at the time of recording this video, and the only way to get in is by invite to our behind-the-scenes beta access. And during your live demo, we'll show you the technology. We'll actually work with you to actually map out an entire course that you could sell as your own. We'll outline the course with you together on the one-on-one Zoom call. And then if you so decide, if you're a good fit, you can come in, join our PushButton AI beta program, and be in business with that very course by the next day. Go to pushbutton.ai/demo to figure out if this powerful technology is right for you. You can register there. You'll book an appointment in the calendar. Be sure you show up. Our team will be very excited to meet you and show you how the tech works, outline your new course for you, and hopefully it's a fit and we can work together to launch your next business.